Footage from The Hobbit fails to impress at CinemaCon.
Iron Man 3 gains 2 new interesting cast members.
And today is gonna be like a Pixar palooza on pretty much it. We got new titles, new release dates, whole bunch of Pixar stuff. Get on the Pixar boat. This episode of Pretty Much It is brought to you by...
What's up, folks? Sydney Roos here. Guess what? The other night I was watching a show from NBC and Ford called Escape Routes. And I found out that I can actually win a prize by voting for the team that takes it all! Personally, I voted for Brett and Ross, and that's Brett the intern. He edited the Shade Tards videos, but not anymore because he's on the TV! Click the annotation, go watch the video about all the teams, and you can subscribe. And then you're gonna watch the show. It's Saturday nights at 8 o'clock on NBC! I'm gonna throw up.
Today is Friday, April 27th, 2012. Welcome to Pretty Much It. How you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty
Just
good.
so you guys know, we are shooting this episode on Wednesday rather than Thursday like we usually do because I am not going to be home starting on Thursday, so we're shooting it early. If we miss any news from Wednesday evening, Thursday during the day, just understand that we will talk about it in next week's episode because this is being shot on Wednesday. If you are not yet following us on Twitter and you haven't liked us on Facebook, please do so by clicking the links down in the info. Also down in the info are links to this week's review of The Raven, Wish You Were Here, The Pirates Band of Misfits, and Prototype 2. Yeah. Also down in the info are links to all of the topics that we're going to talk about. If it has a video or a poster or anything that you can go check out yourself, the links are all down in the info. And finally, if you are new to Pretty Much It, we have a feature called Choose Your News.
Kazow wow.
All along the bottom of the... Sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead, pal.
That was the sound effect for the Choose Your News button.
That wasn't worth me holding off for you. All along the bottom of the video, there are annotations to click around to any story that you're interested in if you don't want to watch the whole video, or of course, if you want to be really hot, you can watch the whole thing. What's happening? Let's get right into this week, starting off with movie news. Now, once again, since we're shooting this on Wednesday, we might be missing something from Thursday, but what we've got for you...
Keep your pants on if we're wrong about something.
Correct.
Because, yes.
Right. Yeah. But what we've got for you, first of all, is major Pixar news. We got Pixar Palooza.
Just like I said at the beginning.
He did say that at the beginning, if you remember that.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
You set it up in the intro. First off, we have a title and a date update on a film from Pixar that was announced a couple months ago, I guess.
They just announced it as a dinosaur movie.
Well, right, and it was called the Untitled Pixar Movie About Dinosaurs, which I love that they keep doing that. They do the Untitled Pixar Movie About or whatever. And so this is about dinosaurs, and it is officially called The Good Dinosaur. And it's got a release date of May 2014. It has an actual date, but I feel like it could change. It's so far off, so I'm just saying May 2014. Now, it's really hard to be excited about something that's that far off right now. Well, over 2 years away.
Yeah, well, and another thing is that it sounds like a movie. It sounds like a movie about dinosaurs. If I'm
really, Mike. If I could just put on my thinking hat,
my think cap. But I mean, like Pixar is usually known for their deep emotional connections.
What do you think they couldn't do that with dinosaurs?
I don't think so.
Oh, come on, they did it with toys.
They did it with cars.
Okay, all right.
Well, okay, Jake.
It sounds like if I'm going to make a really far-fetched guess about what this plot is, the good dinosaur, bad dinosaur returns good.
Well, do you know what it is about it all or no? They announced that the plot officially is...
then I don't have to guess.
Listen, the plot is what if the asteroid that wiped out dinosaurs missed the Earth completely?
That's genius. That's awesome.
There you go. So
all right,
you won Mike over.
So they like drive cars and stuff and live in houses?
Oh, God.
That sucks.
But I don't think so.
You see, that was the thing, because usually Pixar's got like something about their movie that like, oh wow, this is a Pixar movie.
Right.
Like, it just sounded like, a goofy dinosaur comedy.
Yeah, I pictured that. Do you remember that movie Dinosaurs from a while ago?
Yeah, I saw that.
I pictured that.
That's exactly what I was picturing.
Yeah.
But,
I love that movie.
That's definitely the hook that it needed to be.
Now, they actually released some art from the film, a brand new image, and this is it right here.
What?
No, obviously that's not actual art from this movie, but am I the only person that thought of that when I heard about this movie? I can't be the only person. I did.
Now I want a sequel to the dinosaurs.
The dinosaurs were back again.
Yeah, the dinosaurs are back again. We're back again.
So that's all we've got on the dinosaur movie right now, but it does sound interesting. We'll see what happens with that. And because it's Pixar, I am enticed. Mm-hmm. Now, they also announced another one. Hit us up with that info, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I missed you very violently.
So Pixar, with the dinosaur announcement, they announced another movie.
And this was all at CinemaCon.
They announced another untitled movie, and the only information they gave was it took place within the human mind, or
Correct.
had something to do about the human
Yeah,
mind.
and it's called, going along with the Untitled things, it's called the Untitled Pixar film that takes you inside the mind. That's what it says.
Which could be about anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, I guess it's not even really worth to talk about because,
Well,
like, there's so much things it could be.
It could be like that weird Woody Allen flick, or it could be like Osmosis Jones.
Or like that episode of Invader Zim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually thought of Osmosis Jones the first time too. But it is coming out in June 2015 once again. Who knows if it
wow,
actually will.
that's-
It's a long ways off. And I will say that they gave a small little plot synopsis.
Oh.
Very small. It literally doesn't add much, but it says
Better than nothing.
it takes place inside a young girl's mind.
Oh, yeah, I believe.
Oh, perfect.
And they said that it's unlike anything you've ever seen.
You know what they're probably gonna do? Like, it's probably gonna be like animated with the imagination of a kid, like crayon doodles and stuff like that.
Ooh, that would be cool. I imagine, what if they went like really, really art house with it, and it was just like impulses, like electrons and stuff.
Like neurons. Like,
Yeah. And that's
for
it.
2 hours.
It's like
yeah.
it's like a 2 hours version of like that old Windows screensaver with the with the stars. And that's it. That's it for 2 hours. And then John Lasseter laughing at the end.
Also, Lee Unkrich, the director of Toy Story 3, said on Twitter that another one, Dia de los Muertos, is coming.
And then what is that?
That's Espanol for Day of the Dead.
Now, I'm actually really excited about that because if there's anything I like about Hispanic culture,
It's the visuals of Dia de los Muertos.
that's exactly. I think
Remember
that's,
that Horror Nights thing we went to?
Yes, that,
Yeah.
I would like. I literally think like that Dos Muertos thing. I think that style is like awesome. Like,
It's gorgeous. Like the
skeletons.
neon skeletons
Yeah,
and stuff.
like that's
Oh my
great.
God.
Like a whole Pixar movie like that is gonna be like.
Yeah.
like-
The only thing is, I could picture it being a great short. I hope it has a good story to go 2 hours or so. But I could picture like a beautiful short
Oh
of
yeah,
that.
we pretty much like know what Pixar's got planned for the next 3 or 4 years, which
Yep.
is we don't usually know that. You know,
No.
they don't usually
So-
just say, "Here's what we got planned for the next decade."
Are we even going to be around?
Maybe I might die before this comes out.
Yeah, we're not even talking 2012. You might just
I might just
end it.
Yeah.
But that is all the crazy Pixar news that was announced this week. And I mean, seriously, Pixar Palooza, what can I say?
So I mean, yeah, this
You
is
interrupted the cheering.
Oh.
I was going to add in cheering sound effects. Some big news came out of CinemaCon this week. CinemaCon, of course, is where a lot of stuff is screened. It's kind of like a smaller version of a Comic-Con sort of deal. And they screened about 10 minutes of The Hobbit. And we'll get to the reaction in just a moment. But for those of you that don't know, The Hobbit is the first major production, I think, right? Is it the first major production that is being shot
at the higher frame rate.
at 48 frames per second. Now, quick film
Yeah, there
lesson
might be a
for
lot of
you.
people who don't get what that
Right,
means.
really quick film lesson for you that's not in depth at all, but you'll understand what we're talking about. Film, when you see a movie, it's 24 frames per second. The reason for this is that back in the day when film started, they did a bunch of tests, and this is the crank
This is
speed
the exact speed that works for
that
the human brain.
eyes saw it as a fully move. It wasn't,
Yeah.
it didn't
The
like,
illusion
click
of
along.
movement, the
right,
illusion of
exactly.
movement.
24 frames per second is what the eye perceives as movement.
Mm.
And so they went with that, and the reason they went just with that is because it was the cheapest. They were trying to get the slowest and
Yeah.
the least amount of frames so they could get the cheapest.
Yeah.
It
And
makes sense.
Turned out it just worked for the rest of time.
Right.
You know?
Now, video is roughly 30 frames per second when you shoot like a home movie on your like camera or whatever. Unless, of course, you're shooting at 24 frames per second, which people try to get. But if you're shooting at 30, you can tell it looks different. You know what I mean? Than a movie.
It's very. It might sound confusing when we say it, but even like the most uneducated person about film would be able to spot the difference.
Right.
between
For the
being-
well, I
Yeah.
think we're going to get into that. Some
Yeah.
people can't, but we'll get into that in just a minute. But that's basically the difference between the frame rates. So if you were to double it to 48 frames per second, that's a lot more frames. That's literally double the amount of frames for film right now. That's what they're doing for The Hobbit.
And that's what a lot of other filmmakers want
James
to do.
Cameron wants to do
Yeah.
it and stuff like that. And at first, I read about it and I was like, okay, that could be cool. I wasn't really thinking of it in the right way.
Yeah.
But now someone explained it, what it looks like.
And this is exactly what I thought it was going to be.
See, I didn't even realize. Like, you thought this all along.
Yeah.
Someone explained, after seeing the CinemaCon footage, what The Hobbit looked like, and I was like, oh my god, is that what it looks like? Do you guys know those TVs where...
It looks like a soap opera for
Well,
everything.
yeah, it like ups the frame rate, and like they
Yeah.
show like Pirates of the Caribbean on the TV, like at Best Buy,
Uh-huh.
and they
And it
show
looks
like
a little
the
weird.
the higher
Yeah.
frame rate, and it looks like it looks realistic.
Yeah, it looks realistic, but not like it's not good for the movie.
Not in a good way.
Yeah.
It looks like a home movie.
It makes a
It might-
movie look like a show. Like
It makes a movie look like a soap opera. Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
That technology might be good for like nature documentaries
Yeah.
and stuff like that, but like for
it's
the-
not cinematic at all.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody described that The Hobbit, it looked like people on a set,
Yes.
which is disastrous.
That is majorly
The
disastrous.
best description I heard was like an old BBC episode of like Doctor Who or
Yep,
something.
exactly.
I'm like, oh,
a
God.
BBC show, because they all
Yeah.
often look like that, yes. Now, the reason that Peter Jackson wanted to do 40 frames per second, I believe, is because he wanted to get rid of like motion blur
Yeah.
and make it look as like smooth as possible. But
I
here's
guess he
the
just
thing.
wanted to be like a
Move
pioneer,
your hand
too.
in front of your face. Do you see the motion blur?
Yeah.
We've got motion blur in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to get rid of it? So the reaction out of CinemaCon, in case you can't gather what we're saying here, was mostly negative.
Yeah.
But which is actually kind of good because now the filmmakers can say, we effed up. you know?
Yeah.
Go back!
I'm worried that it's going to be this sort of thing where, like, imagine Peter Jackson is like, oh, no, you'll see when it's done. It'll be great.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, I'm worried that too many people won't care because they don't realize it. Mm-hmm. And that
it'll
will
just
become the new thing.
That would be awful, man. That would just be
That
awful.
would be.
Yeah.
You remember we were talking about the death of film?
That would be one of the final nails in the
That would
film
be
coffin.
awful.
That if all films switch.
This is not a good thing.
No, it's not a good thing.
You know
at all.
what? I think it could be a good thing, but not for, say, a traditional movie like The Hobbit.
Well, yeah, like I was saying, like
Nature
a
documentaries
doc-
and stuff.
Exactly, like
Yeah.
a nature documentary, maybe even a Pixar movie. Something like that.
Animation.
That would be different because, that would be
Yeah.
simulated, so it would look a little different, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
If
animation.
you watch an animated movie with that effect on those TVs that, like, up the frame rate, it kind of looks the same.
But I do see now for The Hobbit, if this goes through and this comes out in the movie, The Hobbit is going to be known by average people as that movie that looks weird when you
Yeah.
don't see it.
Now, ironically, you're saying about the nature thing. They said that the opening shots of like the landscape looked incredible, unbelievable.
oh, yeah.
But then as soon as they saw people moving around, they were like, "The hell!"
Exactly.
And I can
yeah.
picture it.
I can picture it
so
too.
easily.
Yeah.
Now we were also talking about the fact that sometimes, remember we were saying earlier that some people might not even realize. I go to people's houses sometimes.
It happens to me all
and
the time.
they turn their TV on, and I'm like, "Holy crap!
Your
you've
TV
got,
is wrong.
Yeah, you've got that stupid setting turned
Oh,
on.
yeah,
They're
I
just
can
like,
realize.
they're like, "Oh, I didn't know."
Yeah,
and I'm like,
because you
"What?"
gotta go into like the settings and like you
and
know,
turn it up. When I got my TV, I was so worried because that setting was turned on and automatically, and I was like, I hope I can turn this off, and I could, thank God.
Some
It's called like
TVs
Cinemotion, and I was like, F you. That was a weird little, like a silent. I thought you were having a stroke.
No, I'm good. I'm dumb and I can notice the difference. So,
So that's saying something.
yeah, previews of anything, video games or movies, usually most of the time it's positively, optimistic. With
This
a
is-
little,
With a little like hesitation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
This is,
Cautiously
this, is,
optimistic.
this is complete hesitation.
which is crazy.
Which is good though, like you
Yeah,
said,
like I
it
said,
should be.
It should be a big wake up call to
So-
James Cameron because James
No,
Cameron like
Peter Jackson
and
James Cameron.
James
yeah.
Cameron
said
pioneered
he
it.
wanted to do Avatar 2 at 48 frames.
Right.
So
I can't imagine how could they either of them look at this and think it's good though. That's what scares
you know
me.
what? It might all just boil down to my catchphrase, money.
So that's the news about The Hobbit out of CinemaCon. Let's cross our fingers that all goes well from here on out, but it's looking a little scary, so we'll have to see. What were you doing?
trying to cross my fingers.
And the last bit of movie news that we've got for you this week, once again, shooting on Wednesday. We might miss stuff from Thursday. Forgive us.
Good. Keep your hat on
The pants, too.
and
your-
pants. Keep your clothes on.
Keep your pens in the horses or something.
Yeah, keep your horses in the pen. All
Iron Man 3. We got some news. So the latest update about Iron Man 3 is that Guy Pearce joined the cast, and I was like, "Whoa!"
No.
And then it was announced that Jessica Chastain was possibly joining the cast, and I was like, I can't believe it. Yes, that's
Yeah.
great. She's a fantastic actress. She's going to show up everybody.
Cool.
But Guy Pearce joining the cast is cool as well. I am a Guy Pearce fan in the sense that I think he's cool and he can be really good in movies, but also he's in some doofy movies. Like recently, what the hell was that movie called? Lockout.
He's got that weird face. I don't know.
Okay,
Wait, hold
Jake,
on.
I don't
I
think so.
gotta put a face to Guy Pearce. Just
Guy
for my
Pearce
head.
Memento.
Oh, of course.
Who the hell are you?
I just had to put a face to the name.
Come on.
Guy Memento Pierce. Come on.
But I think that this is really interesting. So we've got now new to the cast. We've got
Ben Kingsley.
Guy Pearce, and Jessica Chastain.
So it's gonna be a big movie. They're definitely not
Yeah.
taking this lightly.
No, which is
So-
good, especially after Iron Man 2. Like we said, it was kind of.
And I also brought up that Iron Man 3 doesn't need to top the Avengers. It just needs to kind of like
Sustain momentum, I said, right?
Yeah,
And you
it
were
needs
like,
to
yeah, great.
Because if it doesn't do that, because then the Avengers are just going to completely overshadow
Obliterate
it.
it, yeah.
So
As it is, I feel like the Avengers is almost Iron Man 3. That's kind of what I'm kind of feeling from
yeah.
it. Gets me a little more excited for Iron Man 3. I got to be honest. I wasn't really as excited just because I feel like what are they going to do to top the Avengers?
Yeah.
But that definitely gives it a little more of a oomph.
Iron Man oomph.
The Iron Man oomph.
For video game news, we were talking recently about rumored DLC for Arkham City, and then how we were saying, oh, I gotta buy it again because we got rid of it. Well, now we can buy it again because Batman Arkham City Game of the Year Edition is coming out.
Oh boy.
With new missions in it, Harley Quinn's Revenge, and that's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like, it feels cheap to me because it's like it sounds like they had this, like this was already done for the game. They're like, you know what? Let's push this off. We'll push this off. But
it has been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did, and
it's just an excuse to release that content. You think and get some more?
Cash.
Now, the best part about this whole Game of the Year edition is the box art. Can we show it? Can we put it up?
Yes, here it is. This is the box art for.
Can you make it cover Mike's face?
It is covering Mike right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
You can't see it?
I feel disgusting.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel? Can you breathe under there, Mike?
No.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Oh, there we go.
You good?
I'm not a big fan of this.
Of the art.
No.
Yeah, the art. They pretty much just plastered the number 10 everywhere.
It's 10 out of 10. The game.
Well, which
That's
is
what it's called.
I mean, like it's that is a pretty cool thing to. That's a lot of bragging rights that they got a 10 out of 10.
Even Game Informer though, Game Informer came up with that's their quote. They were like, "Bro, that's stupid."
Yeah, I mean,
Like that.
Yeah, I was like, what? That's the quote, bro. That's stupid.
Like they could have put that on the box. Like they must have hired just a really crappy graphic designer. I mean, that was just just.
It
bad.
does seem like they did it last minute.
Yeah,
the logo's an afterthought.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like some guy was just like on his computer, he's like done.
Because it's a nice Batman image, but it's just covered
But
by
it's been used, So.
So I'm buying it because I want it.
Oh, good for you.
I'm gonna cover up the box. I don't want to look at the box.
You're thinking too much into this.
Shut up. You know what? This is all we have. It's a slow week.
Yeah.
All right. The box is hideous. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it for a good 2.5 minutes. Yeah. All right.
A very interesting thing. Now, keep in mind, this is Wednesday.
Wednesday, yes.
Sony is announcing on Friday a big new game, and many of us are thinking that it is the much anticipated and rumored Sony kind of Super Smash Brothers type of game,
which has the potential to be huge. Huge.
Now, for those like me that don't know all the characters, who would be in this game?
Okay.
Crash Bandicoot,
Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank.
Oh my God, yeah, Ratchet and Clank.
Jack and Daxter.
All right.
I wish. Jack and Daxter.
Nathan Drake, maybe.
What? Okay.
Yeah, Nathan Drake, Parappa the Rapper.
Kratos.
Maybe? Little Big Planet guy.
Oh my gosh! All right.
Super Smash Brothers, continues to be one of the biggest Nintendo things out because it's pretty much a flawless idea. I remember the first commercial for Nintendo 64.
Imagine me.
Yeah, exactly.
When they're dancing in the field.
Yeah,
and they knock each other over.
Yeah, when I first saw that as a kid, I was like,
"You're like yes."
Oh my God!
Yes.
They're putting video game characters and they're fighting each other. Oh!
I'm a huge fan of mashups and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so that was the perfect thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I just think it might be a little weird because a lot of Sony's new titles are all real and based in reality, like Resistance 3.
Yeah, that's true. It's going to be a lot of people.
Yeah.
So now
not characters.
Nathan Drake is just essentially a guy in jeans. Yeah. So now to have a guy in jeans punching the Little Big Planet guy in the face is hilarious.
Well, Snake from Metal Gear was in the latest Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, they pulled that off.
Yeah, they did pull that off.
Right, but to have one guy like that,
that was
a bunch
just
of characters is different.
So, like we said, this could be anything at this point.
Now, a lot of people think it could be just a one-on-one fighter, say Street Fighter or something, or it could be like a brawl type of thing, like Super Smash Brothers. So we'll have to wait and see.
Either way, it's gonna be big.
If that's what happens, if that's
what happens,
right?
Which most likely.
And of course, we'll talk about it on next week's episode if it is announced on Friday.
You can file this in the rumors category, but you can put it in the draw that is labeled most exciting.
We don't have any of these things, so
no, we don't.
No, but okay. Rayman Origins 2 has potentially been leaked through a marketing survey that asked you a couple questions. Hey kid, you like video games? How about a Rayman Origins 2? Whoa! And then they showed screenshots and a description.
which is very good because Rayman Origins 1 was fantastic.
Yeah,
it It was, it was very simple. It was like playing a.
It was a side-scroller.
Yeah, it was a
was it not?
side-scroller. Yeah. You jump on people's heads. It wasn't, a challenging game, but like the visuals, the music, and everything.
I heard the music was incredible.
Critically acclaimed. Oh my god, everyone loved it.
Yeah, it was just pretty much like an unhateable game.
So this is a good thing if there's a sequel on the way.
It-
And it's pretty clear there is, I guess. Or?
Yeah, I mean, it could be fake,
Okay.
but it
Could just be like
real.
a curious question.
I think it looks. A lot of people think it looks pretty good. There's in the description 4-player co-op returns, drop in, drop out.
Which is fantastic.
New awesome settings like ancient Greece and castles and vampires and dragons and stuff. Sign me up for that. That's awesome. Oh shit.
So this is pretty cool for Rayman. It's really one of the first examples of developers going right back to their roots and then actually making a good game out of it, because there've been like a lot of really dumb Rayman Rabbit
Spin-offs and
games.
stuff, right? Yeah.
Really had nothing to do with it.
So this is good.
Yeah, it's good.
Unfortunately, we have to bring Jake back. I know you'd rather not, but... Well, he's been acting weird. I can't leave him gone for long.
Well, I don't care.
All right, hold on. I'll bring him back. He's not coming back. Hold on. Do you hear that? Where were you just now? Who were you talking to?
I don't. It was a long story. Don't worry about it. I'll figure this out.
Man, I really don't care about any of that.
So that's it for news this week. Like I said, we're shooting on Wednesday, so, obviously we're missing anything from Thursday. Next, we're going to talk about the trailers released this week up to Wednesday, but first, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Yeah, welcome back to pretty much it. Next up, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of trailers, and you can find those links in the info.
First trailer is High School. You all right?
No.
We are conducting a screening, and any student who does not pass will be expelled.
What if we failed the test and no one even noticed?
How could I fail the test and no one cares?
If everyone fails, tomorrow's the bake sale. We swap in special brownies.
When I saw the title of this movie, I thought, I'm probably not going to be into this trailer. It
Same,
sounded
yeah.
just like a
Stoner
what is
comedy.
this?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think stoner comedy. I just thought
Really?
I was expecting like some sort of like realistic depiction of high school. I just feel like that's what comes around these days.
Yeah.
But it actually looks hilarious in my opinion. I don't know about you guys,
Which
but-
is weird for me because I usually don't like stoner comedies. They're usually just, smoking weed and
they're good for if you're stoned, and that's it.
yeah,
I guess.
and but this it actually looks like there's some good jokes.
Well,
The opening line in the movie with the teacher talking about what the kids call getting high these days. That was cracking me up.
Yeah, and then I have to say there's things in the trailer that make it look like a very self-aware stoner movie, kind of like making fun of it almost.
That has to be the point.
Yeah, so I have to say, like, the clip that you just saw, that's hilarious. Like the concept of it,
Yeah.
that they're gonna get the whole school high so that they don't. If everybody fails, then they won't be the only ones that fail. That's a great idea. That's hysterical.
It's pretty much the new stoner movie for the new generation.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. It looks like kind of a small movie, so I don't know. There's no big names in it. Well, I'm sorry, Adrian Brody.
And Adrian Brody looks amazing.
Yes, but other than him, he's like the only major thing as far as I can see. So, what do you think? You think it looks good?
Yeah, I think it looks good. For me, simply because of Adrian Brody.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's going to be the big draw.
He's pulling, like we were saying earlier, he's pulling a James Franco, and he's playing a totally crazy stoner guy.
Yeah, so we'll see. I do think it looks promising. Next up is the trailer for Mansom, which is a new movie from Morgan Spurlock, I guess. Check it out.
This is just how a human male looks.
I can get rid of this beard in a second with a razor, easily.
The very first second of this trailer, I almost pooped my pants because I thought it was like a teaser trailer for the comeback of the Arrested Development series that's coming.
Right,
Because
they're in the tub.
Yeah, they're in the tub. It's got the shaky cam kind of doc kind of.
And it's them too.
Yeah, So I was like, oh. And it really looks like a documentary to me about nothing.
Yeah, it's, you know what? I mean, is it even a documentary though exactly?
It didn't seem like it.
I think it's kind of a joke.
It has to be a joke.
I'm not 100%
You know what?
sure.
Maybe the trailer just wasn't that good. Maybe this movie is completely different from what the trailer
That's
was
what
portraying.
I think. I think the trailer just didn't do a good job showing that what it is. I think it's actually going to have facts and stuff.
I'm not super interested, that's for sure. I don't think you are.
No, it's about beards.
It's about being manly, I think.
Well, considering
Who you are. Look at you.
The pinnacle of man.
Yeah.
Right? Look. So, I don't know. I love all the people in it, and they were hilarious, and I think it's going to be a little interesting, too.
All right, so we'll have to see. Next up is the trailer for Lawless, and despite Shia LaBeouf being in it, give it a chance. Give the trailer a chance.
Yeah.
This doesn't look bad at all, but this whole plot has been done so many
Right,
times.
that's what
like
you were saying.
Bootlegging in the 20s, getting to the biz and getting roughed up. I mean,
Yeah.
that's Boardwalk Empire. I mean, it's all over the place,
Right. Now, the difference between this and other movies that have done this before is I think that it takes a concept that I might personally find a little dull. I think this is what we were saying, right?
Yeah.
I might, maybe not in Boardwalk Empire, but in other things, it's like you said, it's been done many
Stale.
times.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a thing that I'm kind of like not that interested in. However, this movie, the cast and just the way that the vibe of it, the tone of it, I guess, whatever, makes it look really good.
It looks refreshing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like a really exciting version of something I would expect to be dull.
Yeah, I would agree with that statement 100%. Like
You're
if
just annoyed by the fact that it's been done so many times.
Yeah, I'm not even annoyed. Like I said, it's just been I've seen it so many times. It's
Right.
bootlegging in the 20s. What's gonna happen?
All right, understandable.
Yeah, somebody might get shot. Somebody might sell some whiskey. Money trade. Shia LaBeouf runs around.
Oh no!
3 newer versions of kind of stuff we've seen before already came out this week. Brave, Hotel Transylvania, and G.I. Joe Retaliation. I think the Brave one looks good.
Yeah.
I think the Hotel Transylvania one looks like a good kids movie, like you said, right? And then the G.I. Joe Retaliation one looks like, kind of more the same stuff. So that's all fine and dandy. And the only other new trailer released up to this point on Wednesday is a movie called Stash House. And that's it for trailers. One more time, I'm going to say it. This is Wednesday that we're shooting on. So if there's anything else, forgive us. We'll talk about it next week.
Sorry.
Moving on to the poll. Last week's poll question was, who would you like to see perform in hologram form, like we discussed? That Tupac was not a hologram. It was a Pepper's ghost. But with that effect, who would you like to see perform live? And I'm not surprised at all. The number one choice with 250 votes is Freddie Mercury.
I mean, like, even though we said that, I mean, like...
Well, I posted the poll hours before we said it.
Oh, okay.
The hours before the video went up. So they said that on their own. Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Be proud.
That's good.
job.
Yes.
That's man, that would be
I would
so
love to see
cool.
that. I constantly go back and watch that. I forget where
movie
it
thing?
was. No,
awesome
Webley something or
Wembley
other.
Stadium.
Wembley. He's wearing like a yellow jacket.
Yeah,
I
Wembley
think, right?
Stadium.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. I watch it all the time, and it's like in Under Pressure. There's a part where like he spins around right on the beat, and it's just unbelievable. I would really love to see that myself, even though I'm not really for the whole touring thing. For one performance, it would be cool, like we said.
Yeah.
Like if Queen went on tour and then they brought Freddie out for one song, that would be pretty cool. A little weird, but cool. In number 2, we have Michael Jackson. Very boring choice, in my opinion. He's not been gone long enough that it's that exciting.
Yeah. Well, how long has it been? 3 years?
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, I guess using the logic that people just want to see him.
Yeah, I mean, I get, yeah.
It's not as exciting as the first and the third, which the third is the Beatles. Now, the Beatles, when they were young, like when they first were like playing, like when they first, Beatlemania, that would definitely be pretty cool to see.
that would be.
Especially like, it's almost like you could show kids like, this is why One Direction is not the new Beatlemania. You know what I mean? Here's the difference, ladies and gentlemen.
But like we said, it also might come off as just very weird. Like they probably won't do this until like, I mean, who's still alive?
We got 2. We got Ringo and we got Paul.
So as soon
Wait,
as,
yeah, like I don't think this would be a current thing. Freddie Mercury makes the most sense right
I'm
now.
thinking if the Beatles thing is going to happen, this is going to be way down the line.
Yeah,
until they
many
meet
years
their-
from now.
yeah,
I feel like this is like it would happen on Futurama. Any
yeah.
of this, you know?
This is
All
something
this
that,
concept. It is weird, but it was the poll question, so there you go. The next poll question for this week is, go on.
What character would you like to play as in a Sony fighting game?
Like a Sony Smash Bros. sort of game.
Sony Smash Brothers. What
There's
kind
a-
of Sony character, from PS1, PS2, PS3, would you like to play as?
And just a quick thing, if the game is announced on Friday, because once again, filming on Wednesday, if the game's announced on Friday and they announce characters, or if it's not announced at all, just use it as a hypothetical question,
play
so it's
along.
fine. You can click the link down in the info to go to the poll on our Facebook page, and we will let you know who you chose as the top 3 picks in next week's episode, pretty much it. And finally, the giveaway winner this week is Wilson Archibald.
and other awesome.
I don't think that there's any more than one Wilson, so you know who you are if you won. And thank you very much for entering. We will contact you about whether you would want, what was it, The Innkeepers or Contraband on DVD. But thank you once again for entering, and congratulations on winning. That kind of sounded weird. Congratulations. Congratulations. And that's all we got for you this week. Sorry for maybe kind of a dull episode in terms of news. We didn't have a ton just because, once again, we're shooting on Wednesday. Slow week to begin with, and then cut even slower just because we didn't even get to Thursday. So, sorry about that. Next week, hopefully, will be action-packed because we'll have Thursday's news as well. Oh. Way to play along, ass. So thank you very much for watching Pretty Much It. We love you, goons.
I
You're
love
alright, yeah.
you so much.
I thought you were going to start singing.
No.
Maybe next time.
I'm the singer of the group.
Okay, Jay.
Sorry, ladies.
And that's pretty much it.